Amigos, we're back 2021. First video. Guess what? I got some new gear. Potato cam is gone. Hopefully this is looking a little bit better. I've sorted out some IT issues. And yeah, happy days. So getting started off, first video back in 2021. We're going to go way back to the start and answer the question. If I was going back and trying to learn how to lure fish again, or I was getting started way back at the start, what would I do? So hopefully this fits in nicely with, after Christmas, you got a couple of Anaconda vouchers or some BCF vouchers, and you got to go out and spend them. It's more if you're just getting into lure fishing. Okay, so if I was going back and I was just starting, what would I go and buy in terms of lures? So there's so many lures out there at the moment, which is fantastic. You walk into a tackle shop, it's like this big black hole waiting for you to just drop money all over the place, which is cool. There's lots of choice. But if you're just starting, it makes it really difficult and intimidating as to what to know how to buy, knowing what to buy. So I thought to myself, what are going to be some criteria here? How am I going to pick these lures? First thing, they need to be a legit lure. Sorry, gulp crappies, we're not going there. Second thing, they need to be really easily available. So can most people in most places just walk into the tackle store or an Anaconda and find them and pick them up? No worries. Next one, need to be pretty easy to use. Self-explanatory. What are we up to? Fourth criteria, they've got to be pretty cheap, right? So when you're getting started out and you're just learning the areas you're fishing and you're just starting to get used to casting and things like that, the last thing that you're going to want to be doing is losing $20 a pop lures every time you cast, because you're going to lose a few, okay? Till you get good at casting, till you know all the structure and all that sort of stuff in the areas that you're fishing, you're going to lose lures. So I would 100%, without a doubt, start with soft plastic lures. That's a no-brainer. And they fit all that criteria quite nicely. So let's have a look. I'm going to keep my shopping list to $50, okay? So that was my challenge. Keep it under $50. This is what I come up with. So just to get started, I've got Z-Man soft plastics here. I like Z-Man soft plastics. They fit that criteria that they're really easy to find. Like every tackle store, every Anaconda, every BCF have Z-Man soft plastics. So that's not to say that there aren't other brands of soft plastics out there that are just as good, but they're available. They are really hardy, so you can catch heaps of fish on them, and they do have a good range. So that's why I've gone from Z-Man. If you know someone that makes soft plastics, or you got other brands around, you could 100% go and substitute their models into the shopping list. Okay, so let's have a look at the plastics. You can normally pick up these plastics 3 for 25-ish bucks. Okay, so we're hitting half our shopping list quota with the soft plastic. So first one on the list that I've got here is Z-Man 2.5-inch slim swims. Okay, wouldn't be a Z-Man if it didn't have a Z on the end. All right. The slim swims are just killer. They just catch fish. They catch all sorts of fish. You'll be surprised with what will take them. You catch, they're really good brim baits, but they'll catch dewies, mangrove jack, all sorts of stuff. They're a fantastic little bait fish profile, and they just have so much action at a really slow speed. Okay, that's part of why they're so good. Second one I've got on my list is the Z-Man 3.5-inch trick swims. This one, it's a similar kind of bait. Like it's a bait fish profile. It's got a paddle tail. It's just a bit bigger. Okay, so it's in your arsenal. It's gonna probably tempt some bigger fish. Okay, so you can use it maybe if you're targeting flathead a bit more, or maybe some of the bigger reef species. And then the last one that we've got on the list here is the Z-Man 2.5-inch grub. So another small bait targeted at brim, but it'll catch all sorts of different stuff. Okay, colors of these plastics. Slim swims, I've got the greasy prawn color there. Trick swims is in motor oil. The last one's in bloodworm. They're all great colors. You could go, there's a whole bunch of other good colors as well. Okay, if you're fishing really dirty water and things like that, maybe you go for darker colors. If you're fishing clearer water, more natural, transparent colors. If you're not sure, greasy prawn, motor oil, bloodworm, green lantern, all really good colors. Okay, so that's hitting now about $25 mark. Because we're going soft plastics, we need to have something to rig them on, and that's where our jig heads come in. Okay, so on the other side here, we've got 2 jig heads. If you go with TT jig heads, the packets of jig heads are about $10 each. So we're adding another $20, so we got to $25, $45, or a bit under our budget here. But again, I've gone with TT because they're readily available. You can switch them out for another brand. Doesn't matter. Okay, you could get, there's Berkeley jig heads, or maybe someone that makes jig heads locally. It doesn't matter. It's not going to matter that much when you're getting started. So first jig head on my list here, TT headlocks, 1/12 weight on a 10H hook. So 1/12 weight's how heavy it is. 10 hook is the size of the hook. And in TT jig heads, the H stands for heavy, or it's a heavier gauge hook. I go with the heavier gauge hooks because they're just more hardy. They're less prone to break and things like that. Second on the list is the TT headlocks, 1/8 weight, 3/0 hook, so bigger hook. Again, H, so for heavy gauge hooks. And the reason why I've gone with these jig heads is they nicely match up with the plastics. The 1/12 10 hook's really good for the slim swims and the grubs, and that bigger 3/0 1/8 jig head's going to work really well with your trick swims. So we're on $45. You may even get them a little bit cheaper. So, maybe you'll find something else, $5 chuck in there. Might even be worth adding another $5 in and getting some Squidgy S Factor scent or something like that. But that little package, or that little shopping list there, will catch so many different species of fish. Okay? Brim, trevally, flathead, snapper, Jewies, like so many different fish species, and they're just really effective fish catching lures to get you started. And there's a couple of different ones in there to give you a bit of variety. So that's the shopping list. I am going to follow this up with another video. I'm going to actually show you something a bit more interesting with some fishing and some techniques on how to use them. But if you went out and spent $50 on those lures, you'd be well set up to go and get your first fish on a lure or start exploring soft plastics and that sort of stuff. So, amigos, thanks for tuning in. Big year, hopefully. Finally got some computer issues sorted out and all that sort of stuff. So, hopefully get some more videos out. Happy days. Get out there. Smash them.